Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today as I give to you guys right now video number 2 of 2. If you haven't caught video number 1 from earlier on today where we explored the fallout of yesterday's 0-0 draw away at Bournemouth, you can check that video right here. Make sure you have a look if you haven't done so already, where I give you guys the reasoning as to why I now think things are starting to head a bit left and why Chelsea are going to be heading in a certain direction that I don't think is going to go very well. So make sure you check that out. I list all the reasons and observations that I think we've all been hit with at least since yesterday, and the realization that the fan base is now coming to terms with that do Chelsea even have the tools to be able to get results like we anticipate them to? It's crazy that having spent over $1 billion in the space of time that Todd Boehly and his entourage have been in charge of Chelsea Football Club, that we are actually having this conversation. But I go into detail, so check that video out and you'll see exactly what I have to say. But we're kind of going to continue the conversation a little bit because now we're bringing the news and the latest and what is happening, and it seems like I didn't think we'd be here, but we're talking transfers again. We're talking transfers. Might as well come to January now. Bring on January now and just open the window. Why? Because it looks like Chelsea want to do more business. Now, this is going to kick off a lot of the rival fans. I can already see it. A lot of the rival fans are going to be like, hang on, you want to spend more? Yes. We want to spend more, please. Because we have to. I mean, look, I'll give you my thoughts after I have shown you. Before we get kicking off, actually, congratulations, Callum Hudson-Odoi. I have to. He went to Nottingham Forest. He made his debut tonight, right? Started. Fantastic. What does he do? He's on the left-hand side, gets the ball. Okay. Cuts in. Top bins. You couldn't write it. You couldn't write it. You absolutely couldn't write it. It's like poetry in motion. It just had to be in it. It just had to be. It had to be Callum Hudson-Odoi scoring that equaliser at home for Nottingham Forest, sticking it from outside of the box straight into the top corner and going off on a knee slide. It just had to be. It's just, Chelsea Football Club, man. Well, I honestly think at this point, I wouldn't be against, right? I would happily contemplate not just getting one religious figure. We can get multiple. We can get an imam, we can get a priest, and we can get a rabbi. And they can come together and they can do a collective exorcism of Chelsea Football Club. Because right now, I truly think we've been possessed. We've got some sort of witchcraft on us right now. What other explanation is there? Well, anyway, let's get into what Chelsea think the solution might be. And it probably means opening the checkbook again. Here we go. Mauricio Pochettino wants another striker at Chelsea and another creative player. The correct options were not available in summer. They will add in January. The correct options were not available in summer? Really? We could be sitting here with Kudus right now. Like, happily. You know, we could have pursued to try and get Shirky. We actually didn't. Like, we could have got Maddison. He was offered to us. This football club, oh my God, man, this football club. What are we going to do? Anyway, we're looking to get a striker now. We're looking to get a creative player, right? A creative midfielder. Okay, it's funny that we're looking to get a creative midfielder in a time where we know Nkunku's going to be back. So we didn't actually clarify to get that replacement in for the summer just in case something were to happen to Nkunku. We're going to wait for him to get injured. And then we're going to have no one. And then we're going to get him. And then probably not play him because Nkunku's back. So, logic. Now, that's not to say they anticipate injury. But having spent $1 billion, you'd think that we would prepare with backups. But we didn't. Anyway. Who is that striker going to be? Well, I think it's pretty clear where we're going to go with this one, and it's this guy. I should not say this guy ever again, should I? I mean, talking about this guy scored for Roma and got an assist yesterday. Man, this football club. Check this out. Sources close to Ivan Toney suggest he will 100% be leaving Brentford in 2024. A potential move to Chelsea isn't advanced yet, but perhaps one to watch. Now, apparently other clubs will be interested in Ivan Toney. And yeah, we got to watch ourselves, because if we do want Ivan Toney, then we're going to have to move pretty quickly and get this deal done pretty fast. Yeah, if not, other clubs could come in. Now, Ivan Toney, you'd think, I have to say this, you'd think he would come to Chelsea and he would start banging in goals. You'd think, right? In the same way that I would say if Haaland came to Chelsea, you would think. But this is Chelsea. Strikers don't work here. Strikers stop. We I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the witchcraft. Strikers stop facilitating. They stop functioning. They malfunction, if anything, and they lose all knowledge of how to kick a football. That is what happens at Chelsea Football Club. So Ivan Toney, you'd think, would actually come to Chelsea and perform, but the reality is he'd probably hit nothing more than a barn door as well. So look, Ivan Toney, if I'm being completely honest, decent striker, Premier League proven, is, old enough, is experienced. I would say, look, it's definitely a shot that I think we can take, but Chelsea seem like they've been hesitating in terms of getting a striker, and this is not going to go down very well with the fan base after I read this out. Fabrizio Romano gave us some insight. Here it is. Chelsea were never fully convinced on signing a traditional number 9 striker, and will keep protecting this idea for the next 1 to 2 months, and then let's see what happens. This goes on as an extension. Chelsea are protecting Nicholas Jackson and are not actively working on a new striker. In pre-season, Jackson was working really well with Christopher Nkunku. Chelsea believes that when Nkunku comes back, it will change everything for the attacking players. He was the key for Mauricio Pochettino. So, talking about Ivan Toney, says Chelsea are interested in Ivan Toney. Nothing has advanced yet. Let's see which club comes with the right money to try to convince Brentford. Probably not before December. Chelsea will keep protecting the squad, and let's see what happens in 1 to 2 months. I think we know what's going to happen in 1 to 2 months. We'll come to the conclusion right now. Right? We will still be struggling for goals. We might have scored 1 by then. I'd say maybe 1. Maybe 2. But that will probably be an own goal. We won't know how to score. It will get to that point and we'll be like, yo, you know what? We might actually need a striker. And then we'll start talking about Ivan Toney and hoping that Nkunku will come back sooner than anticipated. Now, look, this is part of the video from earlier on where I said I think Nkunku will be a key player. He's the one guy that's injured out of all the 12 that we were missing from yesterday. And we look at that and go, he's the one guy. Nkunku is that guy. That I think if he were playing, yes, we would look a little better. Definitely. He's mature enough. He's skillful enough. He's experienced enough. He's technical enough. I feel like he has a little bit of a risk-taking ability within him. Although we have to be honest, he's got to come and prove it. Why? Because we've seen Nkunku play, but we haven't seen Nkunku play substantially in the Premier League. We've seen him in pre-season and he looked good. But everyone looked good in pre-season, and now I'm saying pre-season was a lie. So we have to wait and see. We have to wait and see in terms of how this is going to materialise. But I do think the one player is Nkunku for sure. So there's that. Now in January, we come to January. Do we move for Ivan Toney? Personally, look, I wouldn't be against it. At this point, I wouldn't be against it. Is there any other striker out there that we can potentially go for? Now I'm not saying right off Nicholas Jackson. I'm not. Because I truly believe Nicholas Jackson does have good traits, as not just as a striker, but as an attacker. He's very good with his back to goal. He's very good when taking the ball and advancing. He's very good when he has to link up. Yes, the finishing. Yes, the headers. Those things that a striker absolutely must possess. And in pre-season, it looked like he had it. And now we're in the season, it looks like he doesn't. Simple. So the story of every single striker we've had at Chelsea Football Club since Diego Costa. It is crazy. It's crazy how it happens at this football club. So, yes, Ivan Toney, probably definitely a guy to turn to. But is there anyone else that we should turn to? Let me know in the comment section below. Now, I read something. that Fabrizio mentioned earlier on. This was all in his YouTube video, so we're breaking this down. But he said something, and I read it, and I thought, not again. Are we doing this again? Are we actually doing this again? Now, I can understand why some people might be thinking this, fans, but I don't understand why the ownership are thinking like this. What is it? Let's check it out. Here it is. This is not a short process at Chelsea. It's a long-term process. Mauricio Pochettino knows that, and he wants all the players to be available as soon as possible. He wants to create something special, and is 100% sure that the potential of the squad will be incredible in the future, but it takes time. I thought we clarified this last season. I thought we did. I thought with Graham Potter, I thought we clarified this situation, and we didn't have to come back and revisit it. If fans are looking at this squad, I want to clarify this because there's two sides to this story. If fans are looking at this squad and they've come to the conclusion that this squad won't function for the next 2 to 3 years, we're just going to have to suck it up, I get that. Funnily enough, you're hearing it from me, I get that. Because I understand how you've come to that conclusion. All the players in the squad are potential. No one's proven. We clarified this in video number 1 earlier on. Why I'm worried, because now the realization is kicking in for many people that the transfers that we made, even though we've spent $1 billion, the transfers that we have made in terms of bringing in players are all young, unproven players that we had hope for starting the season, that they would get themselves up to the next level and maybe start showing something. But right now, after 5 games, we've seen nothing. So this is where I can understand the fans looking at this and coming to that conclusion of, this is going to take long. This is going to take longer than we thought. This is going to take a very long time. We're just going to have to deal with it. I get that. I can't do that. Personally, I'm sorry. I can't. I understand it, but no. Why? Because if this is what the owners are thinking, like Fabrizio Romano has clarified here, it seems like at Chelsea they've come to a conclusion that this is long-term. We are looking long-term. We're not looking short-term. I want to say one thing, and it's something that I referenced earlier last season, which I think was evident, and we all agreed. A wise man once said, what did he say? Check it out. It's this wise man. As a wise man once said in this very interview that you can see the screenshot of, you can overcome one loss, a short period, but it cannot be too long. Otherwise, nobody trusts the process no more. It's clear as day, and I don't know how many times I need to say this. There is no long-term process without the short-term. You can't get a long-term without getting something at least done in the short term. If not, rightfully so, people fall out of trust. They look at it and go, lads, this ain't working. What are we doing? Then there's doubt. Then there's lack of trust. Then there's lack of confidence. Then there's, I'm not going to play for you. I don't like what you're doing. Then you're going to get split dressing room. It just kicks off. We've seen this film. We are Chelsea fans. We've seen this film 58 different times. Yeah, random number, but it's probably that many. It's not rocket science. How so? This is why I said I understand why the fans are looking at this team and coming to that conclusion, but I don't get why the owners are looking and going, nah, this is a long-term process. Understandably, yes, we want it to be a long-term, but that doesn't mean neglect the short-term. We've neglected the short-term. This is the key. We have neglected the short-term. I'm starting to believe that. With the way that we are performing, with the players that we got in and the ones we are trusting and the performances we are seeing, I now have come to the conclusion that yes, Poch has made mistakes starting this season. Absolutely. Tactically, there are a few flaws there. We've discussed them. Left back, left wing, etc. No 10. There is options for a 10, blah, blah, blah. Hybrid systems. We've had that. But there's also the fact that we're having to turn to players that have played, a max of 50 senior games in their career. It's bonkers. It's bonkers. So you neglect, might I add, those same players we have the idea that are potential for maybe the next 3 or 4 years. In 3 or 4 years, these lads are going to explode, right? Who's to say? Who's to say? Now, like I said in video number 1, there's nothing wrong getting those young players in. but you have to support them with some senior leadership in the team, some players that these young lads can turn to as an example, that they can lean on when they don't know what to do, that they can lean on when the going gets tough, that they can lean on and get advice and get help from when they're not sure of something or they're not quite certain in terms of taking the risk and they need a clarification. Boom, the senior player's right there as a spine. We ain't got that spine. We ain't got those seniors to turn to. So how do you want them to learn? What? We'll wait 3 years. See, this is the thing. This is where I look at some fans, and like I said, rightfully, I understand where you've come to the conclusion. Some fans are saying, yeah, we're going to have to wait, right? I ain't waiting. I ain't going to say this is okay. No. Because we have to be honest here. Realistically, yes, even though we won the Champions League in 2021, that was magical. But we've been waiting, technically, we've been waiting since 2017. Let's be honest. We started to dip and we were starting to see mediocrity from 2017, since Conte left. Or since that season when it blew up with Antonio Conte. Since that season, we started to see dips. What do I mean by dips? Chelsea weren't really in contention for the title. We weren't in a title race. We've not been in a title race since 2017. Let's be honest. We've not been in one. We finished third. We've made top 4. We've just about grasped top 4. And even then, we were criticising our team going, you know what, we can't do this every single season, lads. Come on, we got to bounce up. Now, I understand sanctions and all of that have come in. But that doesn't mean, oh no, we're just going to screw everything. Just get rid of everything, throw it out the window. We're going to wait 3 or 4 years, and then we might end up doing something in a title race, but in 4 years. No. And the realistic observation here is that these owners are about to find out the hard way, because it hits the pockets when you don't achieve what you're meant to achieve. You're going to start getting financial hits, and this is where I truly think the motivation behind these owners and the way they're running Chelsea Football Club and the strategy that's in place is based upon. It's based upon finances. There's a financial incentive before the footballing incentive as far as I'm concerned, in the way that I'm looking at the situation right now, because it seems like they're okay with having to just sacrifice the next 2 or 3 years. Not a problem. No, there is a problem, and they're about to find out why. This isn't America. It isn't the MLB. This isn't, a case of, don't worry, it's okay. Yeah, we've got, regardless of the results, we're a franchise. We've got money coming in whether we like it or not. It's okay, right? Nah. That's not the case. I'd like to think they'd know that. But we need to see some urgency. We need to see we got to get a move on. Right now, it doesn't feel like there is that buzz. It doesn't feel like there's that pressure. That's the problem. It doesn't feel like there's a pressure at Chelsea Football Club of, guys, we have to perform. Now, I'm not saying go and win the title this season. That's not going to happen. But like I said yesterday on All You Can Eat Chelsea when we done our emergency episode, for me, there's a red line. And this has to be set whether we like it or not. There's a red line, because this is what's going to put the pressure on the entire squad and the manager. And the manager's going to filter that down to the players, and the players are going to be forced to perform. Red line, top 6. Deal with it. Black line, that red line is there as we can't go below, right? Realistically, we can't go below. But then there's a black line where it becomes inexcusable, unacceptable. You go to that black line, which I believe is 8th. I'm sorry, you're dismissed. There's no discussion. You're dismissed. We're looking at the players, who's guilty of what's happened. There needs to be repercussions. There needs to be consequences. There has to be. Just to get some pressure on. Get everyone moving. Because right now it seems like everyone's a little too nonchalant and everyone's just okay with the situation. Nah. Chelsea cannot afford to go 2 years without Champions League football, like I've already mentioned before. If not, rightfully so, we will find ourselves in the same situation that Arsenal have been in for the last 20 years. Do you want to go through that? Or why? Because they're only just finding out now that they've managed to get something clicking. After all this time, they're finally getting something clicking. You got 20 years? I'm alright. I don't want to wait 20 years. Thank you very much. I'm okay. Let me know down below. Much appreciated. But I completely agree with what Tuchel said. There is no long term without a short term. Don't neglect the short term. You can think long term and put tools in place, but you absolutely need to make sure that you have what it takes to get results now. in order to get top 4, to get Champions League football, to get a European spot. And even then we'd be like, yeah, you know what, it's not our best season. We were scraping 3rd and 4th, if you remember. And even then we were like, okay, thank God we made 4th, you know. But we weren't exactly happy about it. Now all of a sudden coming 13th and 12th is, oh no, it's okay, it's a process. No. When you're spending in excess of $1 billion, there's no excuse. I'm sorry, because you've spent the money. Now it's about if you've spent it correctly. And right now, I'm starting to get the impression that we've not spent it correctly. So let's see what's going to happen. Let me know down below your thoughts on that whole situation. And talking about not spending it correctly, I saw this. I'm going to give you my thoughts on this very quickly because I think this is I think there's a very easy conclusion to this rumor. Here it is from the Daily Mail. Chelsea are keeping an eye on RAMSDALE situation at Arsenal. This can't be legit. Surely not. If it is, we're crazy. If it is, I saw the suggestion earlier on. I forgot from where, but I saw it and I laughed and I thought, you know what? You got a point. If we are actually trying to pursue Aaron Ramsdale, please, someone give us a transfer ban. At this point, please, ban us. I will go to FIFA and knock on their door. Gianni, Infantino, hello, my friend. How you doing? Ban us. Ban us, please. Please ban us. We cannot be left alone having to do business with other football clubs. We are dangerous. We can't. Someone needs to stop us. You have that power. Ban us, please. Because that's stupid. But this is why I'd like to believe this isn't real. I think this is a very well orchestrated clickbait article that puts 2 and 2 together. Ramsdale now has competition because of David Raya. Chelsea are looking all over the place. Okay, put the 2 together. Chelsea want Ramsdale. I genuinely think that's probably what's happened here. If it's legit, we're crazy. We are crazy. Let me know your thoughts on that, by the way. And to wrap up, I saw this and I laughed. And we just know what's probably going to happen. Here it is. Roberto De Zerbi has a €13 million release clause in his Brighton contract. However, unlike Graham Potter's, it can only be triggered in the summer, not during the season. Nice little dig there. Cheers. But he is 100% focused on Brighton and there is nothing going on with him. That came from Fabrizio Romano. So he's got a €13 million release clause. That works out to about £11 million, roughly. 11 million quid. No, don't even think about it. I know you guys, I know what you're thinking, and you're thinking what I'm thinking, knowing that I know that you know you're thinking. Like, I hope that made sense. No, stop. I don't want to go back to Brighton again. Like, no. And as much as, look, De Zerbi has blown my mind. He has really blown my mind. As a manager, he has blown my mind. And it goes to show the capacity of that Brighton squad, the capabilities it had, and the levels that it's gone far beyond in terms of where they had it with Graham Potter and where they are now with De Zerbi. I mean, it's levels. It's levels. De Zerbi, fair play, outstanding manager, right? Has got a system in place and is somehow able to fit everybody in. Any player at his disposal, no problem. I know how to use you. Don't worry. Cool. You fit right here, sir. You know? And then when he has outgoings, like McAllister's gone, Caicedo's gone. Oh man, I need a new midfield. All right, no problem. Or Trossard left. Yeah, no problem. Mitoma, you're the guy. You come here. You know? And he fits everything all together. And Sufati, boom, lovely piece of business. There you are. You're now here, sir. Like, and the system is never disrupted. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. So, absolutely fantastic manager. Chelsea, we just know Chelsea are probably going to entertain this at some point, isn't it? If Poch doesn't get Chelsea moving by the end of the season, I can totally see Todd Bowley getting excited and going, "Oh my goodness, we gotta call Tony Bloom again, guys. We have to." No, that's what's going to happen. I can't be bothered, man. I can't be bothered. And let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. Knowing our luck, De Zerbi would come to Chelsea and probably lose the first 6 games. following us. I'm telling you, we might have to actually look and see if we've got any witchcraft on our football club right now, because I'm starting to contemplate that's a possibility. Let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. And I will see all of you tomorrow for a brand new video. There will be I think only one video. If there's going to be two, there'll be a very late first upload. So just to let you guys know, make sure you guys are here. If it's going to be one or two, I will make sure that you guys will find out tomorrow. So you'll find me here, don't worry. But make sure you are here too. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Much appreciated. Do not forget to smash the like button if you've enjoyed this. Let me know all of your comments in the comment section below on everything. The striker situation, the attacking player, short term, long term, the philosophy of the club, the business we've done, De Zerbi. Let me know down below. Much appreciated. Oh, RAMSDALE as well. And I will see all of you tomorrow. So much appreciated. Don't forget to check out the socials. They are in the description and on the screen as well. And I will see all of you tomorrow. Take care, people. See you lot then. Have a good one. And peace.